Have you ever pondered about the origins of India's aviation industry and how it has evolved over the years? Let's journey back in time to the genesis of Indian aviation. The birth of India's aviation industry can be traced back to the early 1930s, when the seeds of aviation were first sown. Tata Airlines, established in 1932, was the pioneer in the field. Its first flight was a mail service flown by J.R.D. Tata from Karachi to Bombay via Ahmedabad, carrying 25 kilograms of mail. This marked the first chapter in the annals of Indian aviation history. The initial years were not without challenges. The aircraft was small, with limited capacity and range. The infrastructure was also in its nascent stages, with few airports and even fewer navigational aids. Yet, Tata Airlines, undeterred by these hurdles, was committed to its mission of connecting India's vast geography. Fast forward to 1946, and another significant player entered the scene, Air India. Founded by the visionary industrialist J.R.D. Tata, Air India was the first airline in India to operate scheduled services on domestic and international routes. The Maharaja, the iconic mascot of Air India, became synonymous with Indian hospitality worldwide. These early aviation companies faced numerous obstacles, from the rugged terrain and diverse climatic conditions of India to the lack of advanced technology and infrastructure. Yet, they persevered, driven by their commitment to making air travel accessible to all Indians. The determination of these early pioneers laid the foundation of what we now know as the Indian aviation industry. They navigated through uncharted territories, setting the course for future growth and development. Their vision to connect a diverse and expansive nation was the driving force behind the genesis of Indian aviation. The early days of Indian aviation were marked by determination and a vision to connect a diverse and expansive nation. And this spirit continues to fuel the industry as it soars to new heights. As we moved into the jet age, how did India's aviation industry respond? It's an intriguing question that takes us back to the 1960s and 70s, a revolutionary period for Indian aviation. This was the era when the roar of jet engines started echoing across Indian skies, marking the beginning of a new chapter in the industry's history. With the introduction of jet aircraft, the industry started to expand at an unprecedented rate. The speed and efficiency offered by these new machines revolutionized air travel, making it more accessible and convenient for the masses. This change ushered in a wave of market expansion that Indian aviation had never witnessed before. During this period, the aviation landscape in India started to change. We saw the establishment of new players, such as Jet Airways and Sahara Airlines. These airlines brought a fresh perspective and competitive spirit to the industry, further fueling the expansion. Jet Airways, founded in the early 90s, quickly became a significant player in the market. Their fleet grew rapidly, and so did their workforce, embodying the growth that the jet age had brought to Indian aviation. Sahara Airlines, on the other hand, offered a different flavor to the industry. Their focus on customer service and affordability helped them carve out their own niche in the market. The jet age also saw an increase in fleet size across the board. Airlines started adding more and more aircraft to their ranks to keep up with the growing demand for air travel. This led to a surge in employment opportunities, with thousands finding jobs in various roles across the industry. The market share of Indian aviation also saw a drastic change. With more players entering the field, the industry became more competitive. This competition led to better services, lower prices, and an overall improvement in the quality of air travel. The jet age brought with it an era of rapid growth and expansion for Indian aviation. It was a period of change and evolution that laid the foundation for the modern aviation industry we see today. The impact of this era is still felt today, as Indian aviation continues to soar higher and higher. But what happened when the Indian skies were opened to private players in the 1990s? Well, it was nothing short of a revolution in the Indian aviation industry. The era of liberalization marked a pivotal turn, bringing a tidal wave of change that reshaped the Indian aviation landscape. Prior to the 90s, The Indian aviation market was dominated by government-run airlines, with Air India and Indian Airlines maintaining a near monopoly. However, the dawn of liberalization brought the entry of several new airlines, breaking the monopoly and creating a more competitive environment. Among these new entrants were names like Indigo and SpiceJet, which are today household names in India. These airlines, with their focus on low-cost travel and efficient service, quickly made a mark in the industry, challenging the supremacy of the old guard. The competition was fierce and relentless. Airlines vied for a share of the rapidly expanding market, leading to some intense battles for supremacy. This period also saw the rise and fall of several airlines. Kingfisher Airlines, for instance, once considered the epitome of luxury air travel in India, had a meteoric rise, but an equally dramatic fall. The dynamics of market share and capitalization were in constant flux, as airlines jostled for position. While some thrived in this new environment, others struggled to adapt to the rapidly changing landscape. This era also led to a significant increase in the fleet size and employee strength of these airlines. The demand for air travel was skyrocketing, and the airlines responded by increasing their capacity and workforce. But it wasn't just about competition and market share. The era of liberalization also brought a renewed focus on social responsibility. Airlines started to recognize their role in society, contributing to social causes and working towards sustainable aviation. So the era of liberalization was a time of intense competition, rapid growth, and significant changes. It was a period that saw the Indian aviation industry transform from a government-run monopoly to a vibrant, competitive marketplace. Liberalization brought a wave of change, reshaping the Indian aviation landscape. So where does the Indian aviation industry stand today? The industry has transformed into a dynamic and competitive market, thanks to the contributions of several key players. Among these, Air India, Indigo, and SpiceJet take the lead, each with their unique strengths and market positions. Air India, the national carrier, boasts a fleet size of over 100 aircraft, including both wide-body and narrow-body planes. With a workforce of tens of thousands, it holds a considerable share of the market. However, it's not just about numbers. Air India's significant role in the market extends to its commitment to social responsibility and its contribution to society, particularly in times of crisis. Next in line, we have Indigo, India's largest airline by passengers carried and fleet size. Indigo's strategy of operating a single type of aircraft, the Airbus A320, has allowed it to streamline operations and maintenance, giving it an edge in the fiercely competitive market. SpiceJet, another major player, has managed to carve out a niche for itself with its low-cost model. It operates a mixed fleet of Boeing and Bombardier aircraft and employs thousands of people across the country. But the journey hasn't been all smooth sailing. The industry grapples with high operating costs, largely fueled by soaring fuel prices and heavy taxation. Infrastructural constraints, such as airport congestion and lack of parking bays, further exacerbate the challenges faced by these airlines. Despite the hurdles, the industry's resilience is commendable. The airlines continuously innovate to improve operational efficiency, reduce costs, and enhance passenger experience. Whether it's through introducing new routes, upgrading fleet, or leveraging technology, they are constantly striving to outdo themselves and each other. In terms of market capital, the industry has shown promising growth. With increasing disposable incomes and a burgeoning middle class, the demand for air travel is expected to grow, ensuring a bright future for the industry. Despite challenges, the Indian aviation industry continues to soar high, driven by a vision of connecting every Indian. What does the future hold for Indian aviation? This is a question that sparks curiosity and anticipation. As we gaze into the crystal ball, we see a future that is vibrant, dynamic, and full of promise. In the coming years, we expect to see a surge in the demand for air travel. As India's middle class continues to grow, so too does the aspiration for faster and more convenient modes of transport. Air travel, once considered a luxury, is rapidly becoming a necessity. a testament to the changing lifestyle and increasing affluence of the Indian populace. But the future of aviation in India is not just about meeting growing demand. It's about connecting the dots, linking the metropolises to the smaller cities, the bustling towns to the remote corners of the country. Regional connectivity is not just a potential, it's a necessity. It's about bringing the world to the doorstep of every Indian, no matter where they reside. However, with growth comes responsibility. The aviation industry, like any other, has a role to play in sustainable development. The need for sustainable aviation is more pressing than ever. It's about balancing the scales, about growing while ensuring that our skies remain blue and our Earth remains green. It's about reducing carbon emissions, adopting alternative fuels, and innovating for a cleaner, greener future. Moreover, aviation companies in India are not just carriers of people and goods. They are social entities with a duty to contribute to society. From creating jobs to fostering economic growth, their impact goes beyond the tarmac. They are, in essence, wings of change, propelling India towards a brighter future. We've come a long way since the establishment of the earliest aviation companies. From the jet age to the era of liberalization, the journey has been nothing short of remarkable. And as we stand at the crossroads of the future, the promise of what lies ahead is equally exciting. As we look to the future, the Indian aviation industry promises to continue its journey of growth and transformation, creating new horizons for India's skyward aspirations.